One of the most important things, and actually arguably the most important things that you need to know for your subscription box is who your ideal client is, who your ideal subscriber is, who you're aiming your box at, and exactly who you're selling to. If you don't know this and you're just putting it out to say all women in Europe, you've not niched down enough, you've not become specific enough, and actually your box won't be as much of a success as it could be because you're trying to sell it to everyone. You need to get really, really specific about your ideal client. But how do you do that? You need to know as much about your ideal client as you know about yourself. So for example, you need to know their age bracket, their gender, where they live, where they shop, whether they've got children, whether they've got pets, all these different bits and pieces. It's, in a way, it's building a character for you to come back to time and time again. You need to know this character really, really, really well because you're going to tailor all of your messaging, all of your literature, everything you put out is going to be with this ideal client in mind. You need to know your ideal client inside out. You need to know exactly everything about them. And one of the great ways to do this is to write down 100 different things that you know about your ideal client. So the first 25 are going to be really easy. They're going to be their age, their gender, where they live. They're going to be whether they've got children. As you start getting past those first 25, that's when you start doing the real nitty-gritty work and you start to get to know your ideal client as well as you know yourself. When you know all of this information, everything else falls into place and it gets so much easier. It gives you the opportunity then to tailor all of your messaging, all of your marketing, all of your emails, all of your social media posts, all of your videos, exactly with those ideal clients in mind. You know exactly who they are, exactly what they want to hear, the kind of content they want to see, and actually that's going to make your life so much easier in the long run. The one thing I really, really, really have to reiterate is don't skip this step. Don't think to yourself, oh, I know my ideal client. I don't need to go into the real details of it. You do. You need to know as much about your ideal client as possible. And the more you know, the better. So really, really, really do put that work in these early stages. But also, if you're already an established subscription box company, go back to this. Go back to it, revisit it, and top it up. It's really, really, really worth looking at time and time again. One of the things that is a little bit of a step on after you've done your ideal client work, but is so, so important, is knowing your ideal client's pain points. What keeps them up worrying at night? What bothers them? What annoys them? What's a little bit of a gripe that they have? When you know those, you can figure out how your box can solve them. So for example, they don't have to be profound. I run a children's baking box, and with that, the biggest pain point that our box solves is that it doesn't give the parents loads and loads of mess after they've been baking with their children. They don't have the big puffs of flour everywhere. They don't have a broken egg on the floor. They've got all the bits in the box pre-measured. They have to just calmly pop it into the bowls, get it sorted with their children, pop it in the oven, and they have a really nice, wholesome experience without that stress of all the extra mess that's going to take hours to clean up afterwards. It's a really, really, really simple pain point, but it sells boxes. Knowing those pain points is so important to the success of your box, but it's going to be really, really tricky to get to those pain points, to know what they are without doing that ideal client work first. There's no point in knowing a different ideal client's pain points. You want to know the pain points of your exact ideal clients that you're going to be aiming everything at when it comes to selling your box. So if you've skipped straight to this video, go back a step, go back to the ideal client video, watch that one, then come back to this one.